The reason that I'm talking about all of this, here it is Black History Month. And I've been recovering from a mental lapse, a mind lapse. Well, I I believe I was hypnotized. I was under some hypnosis that was placed on me um, by my family who was bullying me. Um, but in part of that hypnosis, like I basically started a company called Tiny House Bazaar, and I was using this company. I was building this company. I founded it during the pandemic, and I was building this company to hopefully become like an eco-friendly, sustainable community for that offered affordable housing for low-income families, so they could finally own something of their own. And I was going to create like something similar to a trailer park situation, buy a plot of land, yada yada yada, and start building that. So that was my um, goal. That when I established this business in 2020, May of 2020, that's what it was going to be. And so I was working towards that, building the website, XYZ, setting up accounts, business accounts, making sure the business was registered properly in New York State, which I did. Um, and then I started opening business accounts for internet, phone, websites, website hosting, buying the URL, setting up bank accounts, all of this. Now, unbeknownst to me, uh, well, there was a guy who wanted to invest in my business. Just a person who was a hustler, I'll say, like a hustler in my neighborhood. Um, it's my fault. I did mention to him that like I had a business, but he was talking about some high level financial stuff that I didn't know about. And I thought like, oh, you know, I'm a small business owner. He's a small business owner. He's just doing what he can to get his hustle on and make money for his family. And I admire ambitious people as long as they're doing something in the upright, as long as they're doing it the right way or what have you. But the more I spoke to this guy, I realized he wasn't doing stuff in the right way. But in the meantime, like, I went to him and I'm like, dude, do you know of any good places to get business, internet, blah, 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 blah. So he's like, yeah, come on. Like, there's a T-Mobile right here in Westchester. They do really great stuff. Now, mind you, this guy, he was basically a vendor that sold like waters, beverages, and snacks in the park to the kids during weekends and after school. Um, but he also used that money to create additional investments, and he worked in doing something with credit lines and credit repair as an affiliate through another company called IntelliQ, as well as doing under the table like loans of to local small businesses. So that's kind of how we got talking. I needed $10,000. I was looking for a $10,000 investment to hurry up the process of building Tiny House Bazaar, because I wanted to launch it that Christmas of 2020. I thought it would have been, I knew it was going to explode. I mean, here we were building out the website in June of 2020, and we had already gotten a few orders on the website, and that would have made it profitable before I even started the actual business. I would have got back everything I invested in it. But the website, in all actuality, was in test mode when some random people organically found it and placed orders on the website. It was only open for like 2 days, 3 days, and we got 3 orders in 3 days. So it was something I knew that was going to take off really quite quickly. But I needed to get everything set up. So that $10,000 would have helped me finish the website, really do a great e-commerce website, or create an app that was, really top notch and inclusive of how I wanted to build the business, as well as build a community around it. But this person wanted 40% of my company for $10,000. Now, I'm a big Shark Tank watcher myself. I'm not a huge business person per se. Well, that's not true. I know about business operations, and I've administered or maintained, budgets worth millions, $2 million. That's the highest that I was able to, um, that I had the opportunity to oversee. $2 million budget. So, I mean, that's nothing now, but back then it was pretty high. It was nothing to scoff at. So, but I knew that my budget. Actually, that's not true, because at that time it was higher when I was working with the private equity firms to do stocks. I mean, I didn't administer that budget, but we had X amount of budget for allocation against private equity projects that were in the hundreds of millions of dollars. So, yeah. So anyway, so I just needed to clarify that. But at the time when um, and this was after I had worked in private equity. So I knew from working in private equity that basically the $2 million eh, and working as someone who physically had allocation uh, allocation authority over $2 million budget, that the opportunity, the venture that I had in front of me was a billion-dollar business. And if I gave 40% to him and his partner, they wanted 40% for 2 people, meanwhile the website was pretty much built. I just wanted to add the application to it. And I was going to give them a royalty on the application, but they wanted to be greedy and take 40%. And I thought that was abominable, because that would make my valuation somewhere around $50,000 for a company. And it wasn't. So I said no. And I thanked them, and I went on about my business. Now, this person, um, you know, maybe a day or two before, had walked me in and introduced me to somebody at T-Mobile to help me set up my business account. And so shortly after I set up that business account, and I had this meeting with them. I want to say that meeting was probably in July or August at some point. Around September, I started having problems with my Chase account, which was my personal account that wasn't hooked up to T-Mobile at all, and I've never been a T-Mobile customer. But money started coming out of my T-Mobile bank account. I'm sorry. T-Mobile started taking money out of my personal account that I did not utilize to pay any bills with them. So I didn't understand how they were doing this from my iPad, and I questioned them about it, and they couldn't tell me where the money was going. And at the time, I think it was like $200 or $300, and there was another allocation meant to be deducted for like $500, within 2 weeks from this first allocation. So I'm like, where is this money going? I just paid my bills. I have no bills with T-Mobile. Why are they taking money out of my account? least of all, my personal account that's not affiliated with any accounts at T-Mobile. So, and then I remembered that I had signed up for that IntelliQ using my Chase account. And I'm like, oh. So I closed that IntelliQ account and I asked for my Chase people to get a refund. And then I went back to T-Mobile and spoke to them, and I spoke to people at Chase, and they were like, listen, we can't see where this money is going. We suggest that, like, we'll get a refund from T-Mobile for this initial deduction, but we can't stop the next deduction. We suggest that you know, create your own telephone account with T-Mobile, because at the time I had only uh, a business, like an internet line for my iPad, and I had bought an iPad from them under the business venture. So the person that walked me into the store basically was saying, "Oh, hey, if you buy this phone from me for $300, like, you could save some money at T-Mobile and just worry about getting the business account set up with the iPad so you have internet access." And I was like, at that time, I was in between client payments, and I was using money that I had earned servicing freelance clients to pay for the building of the tiny house venture. So I was funding it myself from a previous uh, client, uh, um, well, client project that I lost money on. Um, but um, but the breakdown fee uh, allowed me to pay all of the workers on the project and pay myself something, as well as leave some funds available in the other business. So with the money that I got paid out of that project breakdown, I started this company. And I'm just, oh man. So anyway, come to find out that this money's draining out of my account from T-Mobile, and I'm just trying to figure out how to stop it. I'm calling T-Mobile, I'm calling them, and they're like, listen, just set up your own phone line. You know, you have the phone. I was like, yes, the phone I paid for. They wanted $300 for an iPhone 11. That was a used iPhone 11. And so they gave me I purchased a phone line from them. They gave me a SIM card. This was in September of 2020. And so I start like trying to figure out, okay, now that I've done this, maybe a few weeks later, the guy, Kevin, is coming to me like he wants to get paid. I'm like, I'm not paying you. You tried to like rape my bank account, yo. I'm like, I was told by T-Mobile to dump this account. I was told by my bank Chase to dump this account. And I called Chase on September 20th of 2020 because he was chasing me. Yes, he was chasing me up the street. And I was like, look, you have some fraudulent money coming. You were fraudulently taking funds out of my bank account. So I was told to get a new account to separate my business from whatever you're doing, and I did that. You got a problem, you go to T-Mobile. I'm not paying you for that phone line. You can have the number back, take the number back, whatever. He was very upset by that. And I think that at one point too, he thought like maybe we could date. So he was trying to give me the phone to like keep tabs on me or some shit, I guess. see if I was talking to anybody. I don't know what his intentions were, but once money started fleeing out of my personal account that I had no affiliation with T-Mobile, I just was like, red flags, red flag, red flags. I don't want anything to do with this person. But that wasn't enough for him. So he went back into T-Mobile and did something to basically, he had the eye in my eye of the iPhone that I had, and I guess he reported it stolen. But in the meantime, he got on my Chase account. I'm sorry, he got on my T-Mobile account and started doing something where so he could have access to it. Um, he got it affiliated with the phone number that I previously had. Uh, the phone number that was on his account that I was using. He got my email address affiliated with it. And so he started doing fraudulent stuff in my email using my email account and that phone number from T-Mobile. Now, I didn't really, it took me a while, several years actually. I didn't understand what was going on or that this was happening even until I want to say September or October of last year, 2003. Because after I switched my phone number in T-Mobile, then my T-Mobile business account started having monthly issues. Like every time I went to make a payment, I couldn't log in. They couldn't tell me why my email address wasn't working. They were supposed to be investigating it. Every month, I spent 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours on the phone with T-Mobile trying to figure out what's going on with my business account. Why am I having these problems? Why can't I access my plan? My password isn't working. I can't log into the website. I can't log into the app. What's going on? So every month they would be like, oh, we are check into that. We'll get back to you. But they wouldn't do anything. I would pay my money, but my phone would get cut off or my services would get limited. And I would have to call them again, like, hey, what's going on? What's this account? I just paid this, X, Y, and Z. Oh, let us look up and let us see what's happening. So, and if I needed to log in so that we could be on the account reviewing it together, the representative at T-Mobile would have to send me a code so that I could access the phone, the business account every time. And they had no idea why I couldn't access my own business account. Um, and this went on for months. I mean, like every month between, I want to say that was October of 2021, of 2020, till I guess March 2021, 2022. It was going on for a long time. I have to look at the timelines again, but it's March of 2020. Oh God, there's somebody coming. They're very loud. So I gotta pause this for a minute.